Greetings, warriors of the mind. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in the eye of a storm? Not a storm of rain or thunder, but a storm of chaos, noise, pressure, conflict, and felt the weight of it trying to break you? What if I told you that there is a way, not just to survive that storm, but to stand still in its center, untouched? He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior, said Confucius, and the Stoics would agree. Welcome back to the channel, where we don't just talk philosophy, we weaponize it. If you're someone who's done with being yanked around by every little irritation, every unplanned twist, every aggressive driver, or passive-aggressive coworker, then this video is for you. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like, not for me, but for you. Because this is a declaration that you're training your mind, not just to be calm, but unshakable. Let's dive in. To train your mind to stay calm in any situation is not just a technique, it's a form of inner discipline, forged like steel. The Stoics called it ataraxia, a lucid state of robust equanimity, undisturbed by passion or external stress. But make no mistake, they didn't mean suppressing your emotions. They meant understanding them so deeply that they no longer control you. Imagine this: a soldier in battle, arrows flying, dust choking his breath, chaos all around. But his focus is laser sharp, his breath steady. He has trained not just in weapons, but in will. That's what we're after here. Your battlefield is the modern world. Emails, deadlines, arguments, social media provocations. The enemy is distraction, reaction, emotional hijacking. And here's where the mind games begin. When someone cuts you off in traffic or throws a passive insult at you, your ego wants to fight back. That flash of heat in your chest, that's biology, not identity. The Stoic mind pauses. It looks at the spark and says, "Is this worth the fire?" You are not your first thought. You are the one who decides what to do with it. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's not just poetic. Neuroscience backs it up. The amygdala fires off emotional responses in milliseconds, but the prefrontal cortex, your logic center, can override it with trained awareness. It's no magic, it's practice. And here's something most people don't get. Staying calm isn't weakness, it's precision. Anyone can lash out, anyone can panic. But you're sculpting yourself into someone rare. Someone who knows that calm isn't silence, it's power in stillness. Think about the last time you overreacted. Did it help? Or did it just make things worse? We often think we're defending our pride, our dignity. But what we're really doing is surrendering control. And that's the irony. The moment you fight for control emotionally, you've already lost it. Let's twist the lens a little. Imagine a farmer in ancient times. One morning, he wakes up to find his only horse has run away. The villagers say, "Such bad luck." The farmer replies, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returns, bringing with it 3 wild horses. The villagers say, "How wonderful." The farmer says again, "Maybe." Days later, his son breaks his leg taming one of the wild horses. "Terrible news," says the village. The farmer, still, "Maybe." Why do I tell you this? Because the calm mind isn't attached to labeling events as good or bad. It sees events simply as events. The reaction, the narrative, that's your choice. Always. And when you begin to truly grasp this, when it stops being a theory and starts becoming a habit, you start to feel something shift inside you. A kind of quiet confidence, not arrogance, no. This isn't about puffing out your chest. It's about no longer needing to. Let me give you a different image now. Picture a candle in the dark. The room may be full of shadows, but the flame doesn't scream or fight. It just burns, constant, silent, unwavering. That's the calm we're after. Not passive, not weak. Present, alive, controlled. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who could have indulged in every distraction, every indulgence, every outburst, wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that. The man ruled most of the known world, yet spent his nights reminding himself of one truth: control starts within. And it's not just about crises or big emotional moments. This discipline applies to the small things too. The coffee spilled on your shirt before work, the email that never came, the plan that fell apart last minute. Every one of these is a chance to practice. The training ground isn't some silent monastery. It's your daily life. Here's where most people fail. They wait for peace to feel calm. But you don't wait. You create calm in the middle of noise. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you powerful. You see, Stoicism doesn't ask you to be emotionless. It dares you to feel fully and act wisely. It tells you, yes, your heart will ache. You'll get angry. You'll feel fear. And still, you must respond as the person you aspire to be, not the person your emotions are trying to make you. And in that space, that breath between stimulus and response, is your greatness. You ever notice how some people walk into a room and immediately everyone relaxes around them? It's not magic. It's that their presence carries something deeper, a gravity, a steadiness. These are the people who have trained their minds not to react, but to respond, not to fear tension, but to absorb it, like the ocean takes a pebble. But this training isn't sexy. It's not loud. It's not full of dramatic victories. It's daily. It's boring. It's hard, which is why almost no one does it. But you're not almost no one, are you? This journey, this discipline, it demands that you see every challenge, every annoyance, every discomfort, not as an obstacle, but as a sparring partner. Your emotions are not enemies. They are weights in the mental gym. Each one is an opportunity to build that quiet, terrifying strength, the kind that doesn't yell, doesn't flinch, and doesn't run. Because once you realize you can stay calm in the middle of any storm, you start to understand something most people never will. True power is invisible. Not the kind that shows off in arguments or flexes in crowded rooms. Not the kind that explodes with rage to prove a point. No. The power we're talking about? It's the ability to hold your ground when your instincts are screaming, when your pride is burning, when everything in you wants to react. And still, you choose to remain still, composed, free. Think of Jesus asleep in the boat during the storm, while his disciples panicked. The winds howled, the waters raged, and there he was, calm, asleep. Not because he didn't care, but because he knew panic solves nothing. That kind of peace isn't granted. It's cultivated, earned. Through silence, through discipline, through trust. Not in the world, but in the self. And this isn't just religious or philosophical. Psychology echoes it too. Mindfulness practices, cognitive behavioral techniques, they all orbit the same idea. Between what happens and how you respond, there is a space. And in that space, if you train for it, is absolute freedom. But most people never pause long enough to find it. You will. That's why you're here. It starts by watching your thoughts, like a cat watches a mouse. Not every thought deserves a reaction. Not every emotion needs a stage. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is nothing. Just breathe. Let it pass. Hold the line. Because the moment you let every situation decide who you are, you've already lost your identity to the world. But when you can face noise and remain quiet, face insult and remain kind, face chaos and remain still, you are untouchable. Let's not pretend it's easy. There will be days when you'll slip, when your emotions will pull you under. That's not failure. That's the work. You fall, you notice, you rise, a little wiser. You sharpen your awareness like a blade. Every stumble is part of your training. And what a rare thing it is to be trained not just in skills, but in self. You're not building a facade. You're building a fortress, one that doesn't need to be seen to be real, one that doesn't crumble when tested, because it's made of something stronger than anger, louder than panic, and far more enduring than pride. Now ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be when the world doesn't go your way? Do you want to be the one who mirrors the chaos, or the one who absorbs it, transforms it, and remains unmoved? Because here's the truth, life won't slow down for you. People will misunderstand you. They'll test you, provoke you, disappoint you, sometimes without even meaning to. Plans will collapse. Loved ones will leave. The path you thought was straight will twist into something unrecognizable. And in those moments, all the self-help quotes in the world won't save you. Only your training will. Only the quiet rituals you've practiced in solitude, the breath you've mastered in silence, the thoughts you've tamed in stillness, the patience you've grown in discomfort. Only those will hold the line when everything else tries to pull you away from yourself. But let's be clear, this isn't about becoming indifferent. It's not about numbing yourself. Stoicism isn't apathy, it's presence. It's the ability to say, yes, I feel this. Yes, it hurts. But no, it will not own me. That's emotional sovereignty. That's the rarest kind of freedom. And when you live like that, when you walk into the world with that level of calm certainty, people notice. They feel it in your voice, in your presence. They lean in when you speak. They come to you not because you're louder, but because you're rooted, reliable, still. That's the power of a trained mind. And if this resonates with you, if something inside you is stirring, nodding, rising, then understand this. You are already not like the rest. Most people live their lives as passengers of their emotions, prisoners of reaction. But not you. You're waking up to the idea that your mind is not just a mirror of the world. It is a forge. You can shape it, sharpen it, strengthen it. But it's a process, a lifestyle, a decision made every day, not in grand gestures, but in quiet moments. In choosing not to snap back, in choosing to breathe before you speak, in choosing to respond instead of react. And every time you make that choice, no matter how small, you're training your mind to be calmer, wiser, stronger. So the next time life pushes you, smile. Not because you enjoy the pain, but because you know what it is. A test, an invitation to practice, a sign that you're on the right path. And while others are scrambling to find control, you're already standing in it. You're not here to survive the storm. You're here to become the storm's silence. Now, if this message hit something deep inside you, if you felt it, not just understood it, then do something for yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because this is just the beginning. Welcome to the path. Stay calm, stay sharp, stay stoic.